today not just one voice, but as the echo of many, as the herald of truth, and as vessel for the divine will. In this moment, let us cast away illusion. Let us stand firm in the light, and let us open ourselves to the wisdom that has been ordained from the beginning of time. May these words awaken, may they empower, and may they serve as a beacon for all who seek the path of righteousness and ascension. The time is now, the calling is clear, so let us begin. The Sacred Directives are not merely a collection of spiritual ideas or philosophical suggestions. They are the living constitution of divine alignment between the Creator and those appointed to carry out the higher purpose on earth. They are ancient in origin, yet timeless in application, woven into the very fabric of existence long before humanity ever attempted to define morality, purpose, or destiny. These directives are not learned in the traditional sense. They are remembered. They resonate within the soul of the chosen one as something familiar, something that feels less than instruction and more like awakening. Their significance lies in the fact that they are not external rules imposed upon a person, but internal truths that call the individual back into alignment with who they were always meant to be. At the center of this entire framework stands the Prime Directive, the sacred obligation to pursue and complete the mission assigned by the Creator. This directive is not optional, nor is it symbolic. It is the very reason for one's existence as a chosen one. Everything in a person's life, every experience, every hardship, every connection has been orchestrated in preparation for the fulfillment of this mission. The divine Prime Directive is the axis of destiny. It is when it's embraced, life begins to move with clarity and divine precision. Decisions become sharper, intuition becomes louder, and the path forward begins to reveal itself in ways that defy logic yet feel undeniably correct. But when it is ignored, something profound happens that begins to unravel. There is a subtle emptiness that no amount of success, validation, or material gain can fill. It is the quiet knowing that one is out of alignment with the purpose, and that no external achievement can compensate for internal disconnection. This is why the Prime Directive holds such weight, you see. It determines whether a life becomes meaningful or merely occupied. The remaining 19 directives form the structure that supports the fulfillment of that central mission. They are not secondary, they are essential. Each directive governs a specific dimension of being. How one speaks, how one treats others, how one manages energy, how one responds to adversity, how one handles power, and how one remains aligned in a world filled with distraction and distortion. These directives are the disciplines of divine living. They ensure that the chosen one does not merely have a mission, but has the character, strength, and spiritual integrity required to carry it out. Without these supporting directives, even the most gifted individual can fall into imbalance. Power without integrity leads to corruption. Knowledge without humility leads to arrogance. Influence without compassion leads to harm. The directives act as safeguards, refining the individual so that they can hold higher levels of responsibility without being consumed by them. One of the most profound aspects of the Sacred Directives is the inclusion of consequences for each one. These consequences are not punishments in a traditional sense. They are natural, energetic responses of misalignment. The universe itself operates on balance, and when one moves against that balance, there is an inevitable recalibration. When a directive is ignored, the individual begins to experience the effects of that misalignment in very real ways. Clarity becomes confusion. Peace becomes restlessness. Relationships become strained. Opportunities begin to slip away. Intuition becomes clouded. It is not because something is being taken away arbitrarily, but because the individual has stepped out of the frequency that sustains those blessings. The consequences that serve as a feedback system, you see, an immediate and ongoing reflection of one's alignment or lack thereof. They are, in truth, a form of guidance, constantly inviting the individual to return to the path. Furthermore, the directives establish a level of personal accountability that transcends external validation. A chosen one does not measure their success by public approval or societal standards or norms, but by the adherence to these divine principles. This creates a level of internal discipline, that is rare and powerful. It means that even when no one is watching, the individual remains aligned. Even when it would be easier to compromise, they stand firm. Even when the world encourages shortcuts, they choose the path of integrity. This is what separates the chosen from the ordinary, you see. Not superiority, but responsibility. The directives demand a higher standard because they are preparing individuals to operate at a higher level of influence and impact. On a collective level, the significance of the sacred directives becomes more than profound. These are not just personal guidelines. They are the foundational framework for the transformation of humanity itself. When individuals begin to live by these principles, their lives change. But when entire groups begin to embody them, systems begin to change. Communities begin to shift. Leadership begins to evolve. The directives introduce a new model of existence, one rooted in truth, compassion, discipline, and unity. They replace chaos into order, division with collaboration, and fear with purpose. They are, in essence, the blueprint for the new earth, a world where humanity operates in alignment with higher consciousness rather than lower instinct. The chosen ones, therefore, are not just followers of the directives, they are carriers of them. They are living examples of what it looks like to embody divine law in human form. Their lives become demonstrations, their actions become teachings, and their presence become a catalyst for change. Whether they speak publicly or move quietly, their alignment creates ripples that influence those around them. They become anchors of stability in unstable environments, sources of clarity in confusion, and embodiments of light in places where darkness once prevailed. In the end, the sacred directives are significant because they answer the deepest questions of existence. Why am I here? What is my role? How should I live? They remove ambiguity and replace it with purpose. They remove fear and replace it with direction. They transform life from something that happens randomly into something that unfolds intentionally. And for those who chose to live by them fully, they do more than guide a life. They elevate it. They transform the individual into exactly what they were created to be, a force of alignment, a vessel of purpose, and a builder of the future that humanity has been waiting for. May the light of truth guide us. May the strength of the divine uphold us. And may the will of the Almighty be fulfilled in all that we do. Let our steps be firm, our hearts be pure, and our purpose unwavering as we walk the path of righteousness, unity, and ascension. And so it is written, so it is spoken, so it shall be. Asha Shemot be inshallah say that the thoughts too, and amen.
TNTI Global Media, voice of the collective, light of the world.
The Embodiment Collective represents individuals who live from awakened awareness. Each member acts as a conscious extension of the divine light, expressing it through personal integrity, creativity, and compassionate service. Unity in this collective is not forced. It arises naturally from shared remembrance of purpose. Diversity of gifts is celebrated because every soul reflects a different facet of the same radiance, contributing to harmony rather than conformity. By contrast, The Herdian collective functions through unconscious imitation and external dependence. Its unity is maintained by pressure and fear of exclusion, not by inner conviction. Members seek safety in numbers, but often suppress their individual light for approval or control. The Herdian pattern mirrors the old order of thought, one that values obedience over understanding and routine over revelation. The essential difference lies in the source of connection. The embodiment collective joins through conscious resonance, each person choosing alignment with truth. The Herdian collective gathers through reaction, each person following a leader or crowd without inner verification. Where the embodiment path empowers self-responsibility and shared creation, the Herdian path breeds dependence and stagnation. An embodiment collective grows through reflection and dialogue. Its governance is participatory and service-based. Decisions emerge from mutual respect and a shared intention to uplift all. The Herdian model grows through replication and control. Its governance relies on hierarchy and compliance, reducing individuals to functionaries rather than co-creators of destiny. Humanity now stands between these two modes of being. To embody the light is to step into creative maturity, to act as both mirror and source of transformation. To remain in the herd is to outsource one's divinity and power. The call of this age is clear. Move from imitation to illumination, from herd to harmony, from collective sleep to collective embodiment. TNT Initiative, our race's universal hope, and the divine headquarters of our beloved chosen ones worldwide.